What's going on, you guys? My name is Morgan, and welcome back to another video. So today we're going to talk about one of the games I have completed the most, which is kind of funny because I've really gotten into this game despite having completed already once. I got into it again, and it's a very short game for the most part, but there's a lot of upgrades and challenges and stuff like that to complete. So it's been one of my favorite games recently, and it gets a lot of energy out for me, especially when things right now have been very, very difficult. And when I probably get done making this video, I'll probably go play it again because I'm close to beating it for a fourth time. Yeah, for our fourth time. So, what game is that? So, the Resident Evil franchise has never really been it's never been a really big. I've never been a big fan of it. I started the Resident Evil franchise on the Wii. It's been a very, very long time. It was one of my first Wii games, and my dad regretted it so much because the Wii came out. Well, it's been a long time since the Wii came out. The Wii came out in 2006, which is almost 20 years ago. We still got another year because it's almost 2025. It is not 2026. And I was one of the few ones, or one of the many ones, to get a Wii when it first came out. So it was one of my favorite. It was one of my favorite consoles. But one of the first games we ever got was Resident Evil: The Umbrella Chronicles. So that was very, very funny because you had the makeshift, like the Wii controller went into the weapon, and you'd have to aim it at the bar, and that's how it worked. Well, I was horrible. I hated it. I did not like the hounds, the demon hounds, whatever you want to call it, because I don't want to say it on YouTube while I'm doing this video. But I'll call them demon hounds. They had the demon hounds, and that gave me nightmares having to take care of that. Did not enjoy it at all. But the Resident Evil Umbrella Chronicles was one of my first video games. I think they had a Call of Duty on the Wii as well. That was one of our first games as well. But we were very big into the Resident Evil: The Umbrella Chronicles because of just it was a fun game for the most part. But I did not do horror games even back then because back then I wasn't even 10 years old when the Wii came out. I was born in '99. The Wii came out in 2006. Again, Resident Evil Umbrella Chronicles came out in Umbrella Chronicles came out November 13th of 2007, which is about a year later. So maybe it was not my first game on the Wii, but it was around my first game on the Wii, aside from Wii Sports. My parents got it for us on Black Friday of 2006, which it was not our first console. The GameCube was our first console, I believe, and then came the Wii, and then came the Xbox 360. But the Umbrella Chronicles came out in November 2007, which is about a year after the Wii came out. But it was one of our first games on the Wii because we did not get a lot of games. And at the time, I guess my dad thought the game would be safe for kids to play. Well, let me tell you, it was not safe for kids to play. It was not safe for us to play. It actually gave me nightmares because I was actually pretty terrible at this game. But I did enjoy the game for the most part, especially as I got older. I did enjoy the game. We had the game for a very long time until we ended up not having the Wii anymore. But it was one of my favorite games. So again, I grew up with Resident Evil when it came to the movies, the video games, and the franchise in general. So when this game came out, I honestly wasn't sure I was going to play it because I'm not good with horror. You know, I haven't been able to finish Outlast, but I did enjoy the Resident Evil franchise, which started again with Resident Evil Umbrella Chronicles. But what I've played the most of, which would even surprise me to this day, what I've completed the most of would be Resident Evil Village, which is Resident Evil 8, or RE Village. This has become one of my favorite games. It has one of my favorite voice actors in it, which is Neil Newborn from Baldur's Gate, which he played Carl Heisenberg. If you're not aware of that, well, there it is. But it's become one of my favorite games, and to this day, even though I've completed it almost 4 times now, I'm waiting for my Steam to load so I can tell you guys how much I played. I've played 56.5 hours of it. Now, I that's not a big amount. I played more with My Time at Portia or The Sims. I have played a lot long with that, including Baldur's Gate 3. I've played a lot more time with that. I'm currently on my 4th playthrough of this game. I'm trying to beat my 4th playthrough. I've almost completed it. I'm back on Carl Heisenberg's factory, trying to get through it, and I believe I'm almost through the factory, but there are so many challenges and so many trophies to get from it, so I've continuously gone to play it. I think I just got my first infinite ammo in the game, so it's still a long process to go. I still got a lot to do with the game, but that's probably my most completed game out there. I have beaten Baldur's Gate 3 twice, but Baldur's Gate 3 has a lot more story and a lot more side quests to do compared to Resident Evil Village. But I have played this a lot more lately and beat it a lot more. Even though I have logged more hours of Baldur's Gate 3, I have beat Resident Evil Village a lot more than any other game, which again, I do enjoy the game. And it gives me a lot of time to cool off because it has certain factors in it that helps me kind of cool down, especially after a hard day. Right now, some of the dogs actually have pneumonia. So I've been losing my mind between that and moving. It's like, it never ends. All the dogs are on antibiotics. Just let me be clear on that. Everybody's on antibiotics. Nobody's contagious. But it's still the fact that you have to hear them coughing and you feel absolutely terrible and it's like ripping your heart out. But between that and a very dear friend of mine losing two people in her life that are very, very important, and two people that she loves, it's been a lot. I'm about ready to lose my mind right now. And I'm trying my best not to cry, but here we are. But this has probably been one of the games I've completed the most. Again, almost 4 times on this game. And I'm probably going to go do it for a 4th time and then continue on for it. Again, it gives me a lot of time to blow off steam with certain elements of the game. But honestly, it's been one of my favorite games to play. I enjoy it. Going for win number 4, so wish me luck. I'm going to go ahead and end this video. If you haven't played Resident Evil Village, I do recommend it. And if you haven't played Resident Evil Umbrella Chronicles on the Wii, or I believe it's on PlayStation. It is on PlayStation 3. I do recommend you going and finding it and picking it up. It is an older game. Again, it's not 20 years completely, but it is 18 years almost. Well, not really, because November of 2007. But so 17 years, something like that. So again, I do recommend it. No, almost 18 years. I do recommend it. Go pick it up today. It's worth it. You just got to find it. And definitely, again, recommend it, especially if you're big into Resident Evil and you haven't played it. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and end this video. So thank you guys so much for watching. And as usual, you guys, I'll see you guys next time in the next video. Merry Christmas. See you guys later.